Well, thank you very much, Dave, and thank you, first of all. They're not going to shut me down, don't worry. Thank you, Dave, particularly for organising this across the country, but most of all, thank you for showing that you are not going to let this government shut down our democracy. Across the country, we are seeing huge rallies and turnouts. Let me just make a few observations. Most people would say that the first job of a government is to protect its citizens. But what's it doing? It's playing a game of chicken. A very, very high stakes game of chicken with our country. It's playing it with Parliament. It's playing it with the European Union. And who is suffering in that game of chicken? Imagine you are one of the million UK citizens in another country. Imagine you're one of the millions of non-UK EU nationals. We have thousands and thousands of people in and around Cambridge who make such a valuable contribution. How are they feeling? How are they feeling when in just 8 weeks' time their future is so uncertain? And isn't it a disgrace, friends, that well, it is a disgrace in general, but in particular, they talked about settled status. They talked about making people apply. What do we find now? 42% of those people applying aren't even getting that security. Another Windrush scandal in the making. So it is a disgrace what is going on in this country. So, where are we now? We've got Parliament back on Tuesday. I have to say, I worry about what's going to happen in the next week or two. I can assure you, MPs are not going to be shut down by this government. We are absolutely determined to make sure that this no-deal Brexit is prevented. Now, I'm sometimes told that I'm somehow not representing the will of the people. I have to say, I think I'm pretty much representing the will of the people in Cambridge. But you know, it's not just those EU nationals. Look at what's happening in Ireland. That hard-won peace, that fragile peace being threatened in this game of chicken. And you know what the truth is? There is no answer to the Irish conundrum. There are no magical solutions to this. And everybody really knows that. So when people say to me, what about that referendum result in 2016? I say, well, were people really told they were voting for the breakup of Britain? Is that what they were told, the people wrapping themselves in the Union Jack? That what you're voting for is actually to break Britain up? Because that's where it leads, with no doubt at all. So for those of us who actually value this country, this United Kingdom, there is only one answer. It's the answer all the way through. There is only one good deal. It's the best deal. It's the deal we've got. It's to stay in the European Union. And friends, that's why they're scared. That's why they're scared of putting it back to the people. Because in life, times change. People change their minds, especially when they get the true facts rather than the lies. And it's a funny thing, isn't it? These people who talk about the will of the people, they seem to have forgotten something happened after 2016. It was a general election in 2017. And what was it that Theresa May said at that time? Give me a strong mandate. And what was the result? She didn't get it. She didn't get it. She lost her majority. So the will of the people was, they'd begun to see the damage that was being done. So this Parliament, elected by our country, we are the ones representing the will of the people, which is why we will stop this. Let me conclude by just some observations on this government so far. I was trying to think of a phrase that summed up what I'd seen of it so far. And the word that keeps coming back to me is contempt. Yes. When I watched Johnson, and I've seen him as an MP in Parliament, he didn't bother to show up very often, of course, because he's contemptuous of Parliament. His first performance as dispatch box was contemptuous. The way he's treating his Chancellor is pretty contemptuous, frankly, isn't it? The way he sacks his staff is contemptuous. But of course, the most telling thing of all is who he chose to run his administration. a man who is indeed in contempt of Parliament itself, and that tells you all you need to know. This is not even a Tory government, it's a vote leave government. It is a coup, effectively. We're told that Mr. Cummings is about to embark on a big public information campaign, spent with our money, of course. And what he says is, get ready. Well, I got a message from Mr. Cummings too. I'm ready. We're ready. I say, get ready to make this the shortest-lived government in recent history. Get ready to defend our democracy, and get ready to get rid of Johnson.